Thank you for tuning into ETM. I'm your host, Smitty, and tonight I am joined by the Peaceful Outlaws, Richard and Danny. Thank you so much for being here, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Of course, you guys made quite the trek here to get here, about 2-hour drive. Yeah. So, I appreciate it so much. Cheers.
Cheers, guys.
All right. So we'll dive right in with a random question, and then we'll discuss a little bit more about your guys' bands and artwork that you're doing.
All right.
Okay. Have you ever created your own website?
Yes.
Nice.
We're working on 2 new ones now. I learned how to code when I was in high school.
Okay.
And they're a lot different now.
Right.
So working on the websites recently has kind of been more of a challenge. We're trying not to use a platform that makes it look like everybody else's website.
Right,
kinda.
like Wix or something.
Something like that.
So what do you code, like in the HTML5 then or something?
Yeah.
Nice.
It's been a long time, though, since I've done it.
And I did mine before, but always with a template. I can't code for shit, or I can't, what's the other one? Make a flyer. Like, I can do visual art with my hands, but I can't make a flyer to save my life or line, margins or any of that stuff.
Right.
How about you?
So I went to school for web design,
Nice.
but now I don't use it whatsoever
Don't use it at all.
in my life.
That's often the case.
But I got to like building a template, nothing with actual functionality or anything like that. I just use like Wix and stuff for.
I used to do it quite a bit, but stopped doing it for about 7 years, and then after 7 years coming back into it, you don't remember anything. It's kind of like starting over again.
Yeah, and it's like you said, it's always changing.
It's always changing.
So if you're not,
and if you're trying to make it look, like something different, I know the Travel and McCurry's, they have a really nice website that brings you to their album page and stuff like that. And it's just Travel and McCurry's.
Travel and McCurry's.
Yeah, and they have their brand real well, and their website it kind of follows through and stuff like that. So that's the type of stuff we've been working on, trying to get that going.
Yeah, my websites I built were, you could tell they were amateur.
Yeah,
so
mine too.
All right, I guess I'm not gonna make a career out of this.
Me neither.
Guess, so I'll go back to the entertaining stuff.
But you got to do what you got to do.
Right, and it was nice because it got me involved with a lot of the Adobe Suite programs.
Oh, that's true.
So
yep.
And get the access to them when we were in school, so I got to use that for quite a bit of stuff.
Yeah, I go to Berkeley online.
Okay.
So we have access to like all kinds of stuff that we probably wouldn't normally pay for, just being a normal person. And you can log in and use all this project management stuff and music software that you normally wouldn't afford.
And I went to DeVry online, and I got an email from them not too long ago that had like a bunch of portals to just a bunch of free learning stuff.
Nice.
I'm like, oh, sweet.
Yeah.
I guess this was worth the money. So not too much creating the websites, but creative, obviously, because we have some of your art here.
Yeah, I do different kinds of visual art, and then, we've done some silly acting stuff. Even recently, we make silly videos. So.
Oh, really?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Nice.
Not all the time. They're kind of on a whim.
Right.
I did a parody to WAP, but it was like, but the words were about like, I don't know. I think I did all right. I was spitting. Yeah.
The parody of WAP, okay.
Yeah.
Where can we see those? Are they online or are they in the works?
I'll send it to you and you can share it. I tried to put it on TikTok and Twitter and stuff, and it got taken down immediately saying it was bullying or harassment. But it was, it had curse words in it, but basically I was saying, like, is that all you have to say? You got a platform and a fat check and you're rich now. And
okay.
Is that all you have to say?
So you're bullying
my
her.
Tits and my, exactly. And not that there's
I think
anything.
she'll be fine.
Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I said it, and I don't know if that's why they took it off or if they're just really cracking down on, because it, it had all the dirty words in it, but I was kind of making fun of her.
It goes against the community guidelines.
I guess
that's why they
does.
took it down.
Shucks.
I had a video where we took a cosmic brownie and turned it into like a turd.
Oh.
And then I grabbed it out of the toilet and played it like a guitar. And they flagged it.
Flagged it?
Yeah, they took it down, so I had to send them an email and like put them up, show them a
This
bunch
is
of
a brownie.
videos. Yeah, I was like, this is the fact that you thought this was real is just a testament to how good we did effects there.
That's true.
So they put it back on.
Edited
after.
well, huh?
Yeah, it was quite the shot there. Yeah, send me that. I'd love to check it out because I'm always trying to create funny little short videos and stuff.
She's always having fun.
Yeah, I mean, he's been back 2 years. I think it's going to be almost 3 years. It's about 2 years. So we met in Pennsylvania off a Craigslist ad for music, and he had this big run-on sentence about the music he wanted to play and stuff like that.
It was a run-on sentence. You remember that?
About 3 paragraphs.
It was like
of
3
run-on
paragraphs.
sentence.
No paragraphs. But I drove like an hour to meet him, and then we got other people involved in the band, and we played back east, and we were Pharmonica. And then I guess we didn't see each other for 5 years. He wound up going to California and Washington, and I wound up moving back home to Arizona. And so we just met up again after playing for a bunch of years and being good friends 2 years ago.
Oh, wow.
So the
Now we're
point of that
coming
was
up.
like some of our stuff after 2 years, like we just started getting gigs right away, and then COVID happened and everything. But we got to spend all this time off packaging, and starting to go, okay, this is our website, and this is that. So even the funny videos, like we're starting to have time to, and then learning to do artwork, visual artwork, and then add the music. The music's probably 65% or something like that. I'm not sure.
Yeah, about that. A lot of media creation.
Right.
A lot of graphic artwork, I guess, is really what we're doing right now. We took a little hiatus so that we can work on stuff like a website and other stuff like that.
That's important in today's age, because that's how you're going to promote your music.
That's how you do it. It's all online for the most part.
And it's no longer go play shows until you cut a record deal and
Nope.
they tour you.
That's no longer. You don't even now with COVID. You can't even like go to a restaurant, get the manager, and say, "Let us play you 2 songs."
Right.
To try out for you. Basically, it all has to be done on. So when we first started doing them, I'm really bad at getting a video and editing the video and making it all look presentable and nice in context and stuff. So it doesn't look like and even now today with your camera on your cell phone, certain cell phones can take amazing videos. It's just about the videographer taking the video. So that's one of the things that we've been working on lately, is just building the online presence, I guess is what you would call it.
Basically, when we couldn't get much work because of COVID and everything, we wound up working all the local farmers markets as soon as they were back open. So I sell the pottery and the paintings, and then we sing also. So we perform, and then I sell the art, and that's basically the only outside thing we did for a couple of months. So that's when we got together with Darren and started making the originals and everything.
Yeah.
Nice. Also, these originals are fairly new then.
Most of them are within the last, except for 2 of them that I wrote a long time ago when my grandparents moved away. One set of grandparents moved away and the other one passed away, so I wrote some songs about that, but I think they're all within the last 6 months.
Mine were in a folder, but then it was really cool to be able to go, okay, it sounds like this in my head, da da da, and then have Rick and Darren go, oh, you mean like this? And it just worked. So I had a bunch of stuff, but they never really kind of got laid out because I can't really communicate what the notes are with my harmonica. I don't play a string instrument, so it's just probably they came out since February or March.
Yeah.
Yeah.
About that time.
Of last year, so about a year now.
Nice.
Works in progress.
Yeah, it's
But
always.
they seem to be doing pretty good.
There you go. It's always nice when I was in a band for a little bit out here when I first moved out, and when you present a song to them and then they take it and start spinning it.
It's totally different, and you're like, oh, that works.
Yeah.
Or don't do that anymore, please.
Yeah, sometimes if it's my baby, then no, we're going to go this way with the song, but I appreciate you.
We do that a lot, and we're pretty eclectic. When it's just me and her, we kind of sing old stuff and stuff that's on the radio now in an old style. But when we're together as a group, as a band, then each song's a different genre almost, which that's pretty cool. That is not something that a lot of people are doing right now, so it seems to be a niche for us, that one song's this Irish song, and the other song's this Spanish song, and then there's a bluegrass song and a country song, and
For sure.
All that. It kind of helps keep the crowd interested.
Yeah, and I think people's, with all the Spotify's and other things, like they have that taste,
all over the place.
They want it spinning all over. They go from rap to rock to blues.
Yeah, we do it.
Yeah, we hit shuffle.
I definitely think trapping yourself in a genre is gonna make everything harder for you.
Yeah, I
as
think
a band.
it does too. Because you kind of, I don't want to play that song, but we have to play this song. That sort of thing.
Everybody wants this song. We gotta.
Yeah, we gotta play it. No wagon wheel.
No wagon wheel.
No
Let's
wagon
see.
wheel.
We do if they want it. Like, there you go.
You just don't suggest
We
it.
just don't suggest it. It's on the do not playlist.
Just remember when we first started playing, that was one of our bigger hits,
Yeah.
All right.
Nobody knew what it was then.
right?
Is that the Rucker version or
The old Crow version. Like when it first came out, it was probably one of the first songs that I heard from them right when it came out. So I covered it by myself and then with other people, and nobody had heard it at that point. So they were like, "Wow, that is a good song." And then it became ultra popular, like the Stairway to Heaven of folk music or something.
Yeah.
So now it's on the questionable list of songs to play.
Do not play.
Yeah.
All right, that's our first 10 minutes, guys.
All right.
Cheers.
Let's
Cheers.
Take another one. Cheers. All right. So instead of doing a random question, we'll just keep on talking about the band. It seems like we were doing a good segue there, anyways, because my next question was going to be, when did you guys first start as a band, and when did you guys individually start picking up instruments and playing them?
You can go first.
I guess I started playing my senior year in high school, but not seriously at all.
It's fairly late.
Yeah,
for me.
I had no interest in it really, and then somebody needed somebody to play drums,
Oh, okay.
so I went to their attic and played drums for them. It was too many fills. I guess I was too jazzy. They just wanted it to be like straight 9 Inch Nails, trap style beats or whatever, and that's not what I was doing. So I learned 3 chords, and that's it. And then I changed genres. I used to be a ska and like rock guitarist, and now I do mostly the acoustic guitar.
Okay.
So it's been about 10 years, I think, of playing off and on, but only getting serious probably in the last 5 or so.
In Pennsylvania, my great-grandpa was Russell Haller, and they were way back in the day. He was a veteran. I know he came home after Normandy or something like that. But they were the Haller Five, not like the Jackson Five, but the Haller Five were all wind instruments, and each brother had a wind instrument, and it was the same story. The dad was harsh, and they played their music and made their money around that area. But he wound up babysitting me a lot, and he taught the snare drum and the vibraharp and the flute. He had a beautiful nickel silver flute that's in a museum now.
Oh, wow.
But I was young, so I didn't really attain all the skills right then. But I developed a passion for all that, and then just did chorus, and I did the fiddle in elementary school and the chorus in throughout high school and all that stuff. And then I had a gallery called Coyote Studios, so it was a community gallery and studio, and I hired a band to do open mic, and this was in 2008 or 2009. And so the band came and played, and I got up for open mic, and I'm like, I really could use a harmonica. I bet I could figure it out. And so the next week that band brought me a harmonica, and I just started teaching myself.
Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome. So it was engraved in the family genes then.
A little bit. My Uncle Dale plays the mean banjo as well, and he is a professor at Kutztown, and he taught, developed a program that where you play it, he also runs the planetarium, and whatever you're playing with the instruments show up.
Wow.
So he's kind of got a thing going on too, and my mom is from a family of jewelers and engravers, and my dad's a carpenter, so with all the just tactile things and having music in there, I don't really know how to behave another way.
It's hard to do other stuff.
Right.
It really is, especially with doing it so frequently and as a full-time gig for the last 5 years or so. It is hard to go do anything. I've gone to a couple other jobs, and you're only there for a little bit, and you're like, this is so different.
Yeah. This is so stupid.
Yeah.
And I taught for 25 years, and now I'm done teaching, doing the art and music.
Oh, wow.
So I still love kids, and I'll still help them, but I don't want to do that part anymore. And then I was doing horseshit at a stable because, hey, it's $15 an hour, and I like animals. I don't care at all,
Mm-hmm.
So for extra money, I'll pick up a job like that. But it's gotten to the point where we made a decision last
We
year.
don't even want to do those anymore.
Nope. Everybody else is suffering. There is no security. You can have a 401k, and they could steal that too.
Right. Yeah, and if you're gonna make a living off it, you got to do full time, dive into it, everything full hard.
That's the only way to do it. Yeah.
That's the only way to do it and actually enjoy it, or to do it and actually have it take off. And
take
make
off,
sense.
yeah.
Unless you get that one hit wonder or whatever.
I guess everybody has those.
Yeah, that's kind of why I parted with my band. Sounds like I'm not 100%. My heart isn't in this. My heart is in other things that I want to focus on. So
we would like
I'll have to
60
separate.
one-hit wonders.
Huh?
I think we'd like 60 one-hit wonders.
Yeah.
And then we'd be set.
There you go.
Yeah.
Bands aren't fun either unless you really get along with the people that are in them too.
Yeah.
I've gotten really fussy, and the whole time I didn't see him for 5 years. I played with a couple other people, and all I could think was, where the heck's Rick?
Right.
You know,
You're right,
getting
though.
along is important. I'm sure it can work the other way, and you can make money, but it can't last, or you're miserable.
Yeah, that would be horrible. wouldn't it?
You're right, though. If your heart's not in it, then it's not like the place for you, kind of, you know?
Exactly. Yeah, because
Yeah.
they're a heart in it. This is their dream. You know, they don't
Yeah.
need somebody that's weighing them down. 'cause
That's
they
true.
Don't want to put their heart into it like that.
We go through with. I think every band goes through with stuff like that. It's where you try somebody out and they just don't work, or you know, then you lose interest in it because that person's entered it or whatever. Like you said, if
Right.
this is how it's going to be, and then it's totally different, you're kind of screwed.
Yeah, and they had a vision as well that they wanted. And
Yeah.
it wasn't a vision that I jived with. I didn't
Yeah.
have a problem with it. It just wasn't
No,
what
it's
I
just
wanted either.
everybody
so-
has a different vision. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, so you gotta make that decision. And is this productive for us, or should we just
Exactly,
separate? And
yeah.
you ended up like helping them find new singers and
Nice.
stuff, and teach them all the songs
Yeah, it's
and the
always good
cadences.
when
and
it
all
works
that
out like that. Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, we were all good friends.
Good.
Before and after, so it
Nice.
worked out pretty good.
Yeah, the bands are notorious for breaking up friendships or making new ones.
Yes, I'm glad that one ended amicably for everybody
Yes, no,
involved.
it's good.
Good deal.
Well, so you said you had some frustrating bands. Any like band breakup stories or band fight stories or anything?
There's always been well, not always, but so when we met, I was married. I was married for 10 years. I got a divorce like two and a half years ago, something like that.
Something like that.
And we were just friends. But then my husband joined the band, and then we had two more, and we played all together. And so him coming back is just me and you. But in other people I played with, there was sometimes there was always the jealous wife because the wife wasn't a musician.
That happens
Oh, yeah.
sometimes.
And-
My husband spends an awful lot of time with this lady who
and
I've
I'm like, I
never
just
met.
want to freaking play music. I'm like, I don't think like that.
Yeah,
you
we're
know?
just trying to have a band here.
Yeah, that and just some others. I don't know. I got good at like gauging the situation and either going with it or stepping away. I think before I used to try to push myself into stuff just to get more experience and be willing to be stressed out, and I don't want to.
Yeah, no point in that.
I think we used to take a lot of gigs before just for the sake of taking a gig. So let's say we have 4 really good gigs, but we have 10 not so good gigs. We'll take them all.
Right.
And then I think we're at a point now where we don't really do that anymore. And part of that was too, the band structure has to work. You guys have to be teammates and friends, and you know, musicians that want to play the music. And whenever there's a good story. We worked for about a year trying to get everybody on the same page with our old band in Pennsylvania, and our drummer ate a huge pot brownie that was like this
Vernon
big
was such an ass.
and came, and he was like
F you,
so
Jordan.
out, he was playing, it was just so out of time. And I said,
Brownie
something's wrong with you. And he said, no, nothing's wrong with me. I said, well, yeah, something's wrong with you. I mean, it's not like just normal stoned either. It's like way and above that. And we were, that was just tonight. The time signatures were so slow and just so all over the place. And I think that comes down. That's one of my worst band experiences.
Yeah.
Reel it in enough to perform.
Yeah.
Just eat the,
Or
eat
just
the
sit
corner
it
of the
out.
brownie. Why did
Yeah.
you eat the
Or
whole
like
brownie?
Where's the
even
cussing?
even so, just maybe just do the 4th beat or something. I don't know.
Yeah, if you can't get them all, just get
Yeah,
one.
just get one or something. Just make it artsy. Just pretend, man. They call it effortless mastery, I think.
You hear those stories of like Jim Morrison and all of them getting too messed up to
Oh yeah,
perform a show.
they're
or
holding them up
something.
and stuff like that.
Like, come on, man, come on.
Did you ever see the Tales from the Tour Bus that the guy that does
Mike Judd.
Mike Judd does a series called Tales from the Tour Bus, and they're animated, but it's the real people telling the story of like there's different seasons. So there's like the Outlaws, so it's like Waylon and Willie and Hank and stuff, and then there's the
George Clinton and
they
Bootsy
have
Collins
Parliament,
and stuff.
They tell their stories, and a lot of those people, like the hairdresser or the driver, all tell their stories of what it was like on the
Right.
bus. and it's some crazy
yeah.
stuff. And you know, half those outlaws, they literally did shoot someone, like, and got away with it.
Right. Yeah. I think I heard Elvis has blasted some people in his
Oh,
days.
really? That's what they say.
Because he was a sworn-in sheriff.
Oh,
right?
that's right, he was, yeah.
Yeah.
He totally was a sheriff's deputy.
Yeah. Different times back then.
Oh, yeah.
On all that money and
I mean,
all
it's
that
pretty-
craziness.
It's true. No, there's a lot of stuff like that. The Tales from the Tour Bus, though, is pretty good. It's a good, and I like that one. The first season's country, and the second season is all the funkadelic, bands, and Bootsy Collins and George Clinton. So
You said it was Mike Judge, Beavis and Butthead guy?
Yeah. I think it's the real
It's pretty
interviews,
darn
though.
good.
They just got a filter on them.
Informative.
Ready?
I'll have to check it out.
Oh, is it time?
We're at the midway point here, yeah.
Oh,
Cheers.
Yeah. Cheers.
Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us here on ETM.
Sure,
We're joined
sorry I
by the
didn't toast
Peaceful Outlaws. It's okay. All right, let's do another random one. Hopefully it'll be as good as the website one.
Oh, yeah.
Is it normal in your country to make small talk about the weather?
Seems like it is.
Seems like it is, yeah. It's kind of like a running joke, actually, if you have nothing to say. How about that weather?
It's warmer here than it was where I came from today.
Oh, tell him about those.
No.
That's a different subject.
What is this?
There's these videos that teach you how to speak properly to another adult, and they're on YouTube, and it's like two dudes, and they go, how was your... or
How are you doing? And he'd say, I am doing well. But that's, they talk about the weather quite a bit. It was warmer here today than it was where I came from. And
I think I know what you're talking about. It's like a satire.
Yeah, it is
Pick on
warmer.
small talk,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's terrible.
I
But,
think with older people, too. Older people, that's a good food and weather.
Food and weather, yeah.
Yeah, and their dogs.
Their dogs.
If
Yeah,
they
that's
have
where you start a
dogs.
conversation.
Yeah. Yeah. It's aside from it being like a joke for me to talk about the weather, it's not very commonplace. But maybe when I get older, I'll talk
there's
about it more.
times you gotta talk about the weather.
Well, for
but as-
last week for us,
Yeah.
that came into play.
But I mean, as
Right.
far as small talk goes, it seems to be pretty prevalent out there in the world. I can think of other countries that it's not, though. You know.
So have you spent a lot of time in other
Oh
countries?
no, I just used to work with a lot of people from other countries that would come into the States for like 2 or 3 months at a time and stay.
How are they with the culture out here?
Interested?
Yeah.
A lot of them. I used to work with a lot of people from England, and specifically like London. And there's just a lot of stuff here that we do that is just slightly different there. So they want to talk about the weather like every day. And then I had a friend. He's from Uruguay, and they don't talk about the weather at all because it's always sunny.
Right,
You
and
know,
no
so they don't
change.
have to worry about it. It's either hot or like cold, but it's always sunny and stuff. So there's a lot of people that I worked with in a big melting pot when I used to weld and stuff like that, and they'd be specialists that came in for oil refineries or stuff like that for 2-3 weeks or a month or so, and they just different level of small talk.
Right.
That's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not too good at small talk.
Neither are we.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, I'd rather just talk about something either interesting or we just don't talk at all.
Or a topic, yeah. I guess it's a good way to get. I think it's a good way to get in with a stranger if you had nothing else to say. I mean, the weather's happening all the time.
Yeah,
24 hours a day, the weather's happening.
The sun is sunning.
It is sunny, or the dark is dark.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to how would you? I'm trying to think. It's been a while since I started a conversation.
I don't think I've
besides like
ever
something
started
like
one.
this where you have a whole structure around it. So it's a
Yeah,
little bit
you
easier to
asked
meet
about
people.
it. Yeah.
I'm a talk too mucher, so I usually don't start with the weather, though.
The weather usually doesn't come up. You have stuff to say.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah,
It
that's the
doesn't end.
difference. No
So say
room
some
for
stuff.
weather.
I have nothing to say about the weather. No comment. I think the weather is awesome. The snow finally melted. I wonder if we'll get any more. That was the biggest snow that we had in 3 years. Where we
Last
are.
week?
Yeah, and we definitely need it for the water.
Okay.
And I prefer to live where it's warm, so once in a while it snows great, but I don't want to live in Pennsylvania again where it's just ice half the year. And Florida looks appetizing, but I'm not so fond of the thinking that alligators are going to come out and eat your dog or
Yeah, in their toilets.
Yeah.
predator alligators.
Good stuff.
It's a weird thing for me.
Anacondas in the bathroom.
Right. And I know we need different temperatures for many reasons, but I prefer it warm.
Yeah, me too. I'm from Maine, so I did my time with the winter.
Nice.
I'm done with that.
I'm a winter person.
Yeah, you like it? I
Yeah.
don't mind it, but when it comes to living in it, I'll go out into it and have some fun in the snow. But
I don't know. It's just my favorite time. Fall and winter.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the year, I'm like, oh no, I'm melting.
I love it. I like being tan and active.
The winter's her worst time of year, so at least we balance each other out that way.
there you go. Yeah,
I'm kind of bitchy in the summer. She's kind of bitchy in the wintertime. So
works out.
it works out.
It's God's cosmic joke.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember the first time I experienced this Arizona sun out here. It was crazy.
Yeah, I got heat stroke twice since I've been here.
Twice
Oh,
while
wow.
performing.
While playing.
Oh no.
Well, the show must go on, so it's
yeah.
okay.
Yeah. So
But
you're just dying.
Everybody told me
playing it?
something was wrong, and I was like, no, I'm fine. And then vendors were coming up and giving me like drinks and stuff and saying, here, you need to drink this. Something's wrong. And I was like, no, I'm fine. And then a couple seconds later, you know, you go to like pass out or something. And, you know, then you're like, oh, something might be wrong.
yeah. Yeah, so what, did you make it through the show or they?
Oh, yeah. We
He was
played each
playing.
time.
Wow.
The one time people were bringing me up, like washcloths soaked in ice water or whatever, and I was putting them on my neck. I didn't realize it was that bad.
Trooper.
Yeah.
So you're like playing multiple sets.
I'm just not
so you
used
take
to
a
it.
break and
Yeah,
then
we
people
played-
try to revive you back to life.
We played like 3 or 4 hour sets a lot of the time.
Oh,
so
man.
sometimes longer. Farmers market gigs are 6 hours.
Jesus
Well,
Louise.
yeah, with the setup.
Yeah,
and
with setup
everything,
and
but I think
everything.
we play like 4.5, 5 hours.
Yeah.
Right.
So those are always the long hauls. It's good though. I have a lot of stuff to sing, and we have a lot of stuff to sing. So,
Mm-hmm.
and then if you added, you know, one of the other band members to it, then they have songs they want to do too. So it's not always taxing on you. Some of the time it is, but not all the time to play such long ones. And the
It's-
weather should be good for all of those.
Yes.
See, that's how you work the
Indeed.
weather in the small time.
I hope
Nice.
it
Yeah.
doesn't rain on our
I
equipment.
hope it doesn't rain.
When's that coming up?
What thing? The farmer's market?
Yeah.
Oh, I think it's April 4th or 10th. We're going to do one at the Prescott Farmers Market. Every Sunday we do the Prescott Valley Farmers Market.
Right.
It's 10 to 1. And I think the only one, because we signed up through winter, so I think it's 4/4 or 4/10. It's a Saturday with the Prescott one, and I love doing that one. The vendors treat us really good. So you only get a certain amount of money because it's only the farmers market to perform, but then you do the tip jar, and people are generous, but then also all the vendors give you like goat soap and
was gonna say, you get some
vegetables.
products.
And, yeah, so
Yeah, they're
that's
really
good.
kind to us there. Shout out to the Prescott and Prescott Valley Farmers Market for taking such good care of us.
Shout out to you
And
guys.
what I have noticed with the COVID thing, how does it tie into the weather? It's just that it looks like from April on, our gigs are opening up again. Like, so, you know, we do our marketing and ask these places if they want to have a band, and they're like, sorry, man, we can't afford it right now.
Right.
So there's a Verde Pecan and Wine Festival, and we're performing there, and they just emailed us, so they're back
They're
on
back
for
on.
April.
It was canceled. Now it's
Okay.
back
So
on.
that should be some nice weather at the Verde Pecan and
I-
Wine Festival.
I know the latest stimulus package released a little bit of money for live venues.
Oh, good.
So that
Oh,
should help
nice.
out. It was
Really?
It was like $20 billion set aside
Good.
for live venues
Good.
to kind of get them either keep their doors open when the stuff settles down, or to get them doing shows again.
Up
Well,
where
that's good.
we were, all the like the smart restaurants and the ones that are active and paying attention, they all wanted the things out on their porch.
Yeah.
That was a big thing. I don't know if it was like that here too. They're like, you can't do this, but you can.
Hey, there's no
sit out
parking
here."
because everywhere's a bar down the
Yeah, it was
street. You know,
right
Like
down the
4
road, a
pair of
diner did
pants
that.
on and ski hat.
I love it though. Back to the weather. You can't be inside eating, but we can put you outside in a covered area that's completely, covered with a tent or whatever, and you can eat in there.
Yeah.
And the
there's-
wind can blow your dress.
Yeah, and the wind can blow.
Yeah, there's always the memes of the people standing next to each other. It's like, good thing the virus can't move sideways.
Yeah, it's good, huh?
Just forward.
We're lucky that way.
If you got the good strain, I guess.
Oh, it's definitely been a thing for musicians, and I imagine even in this sort of production work, it's a thing. People are hesitant to go out and about, and they're hesitant to reach out even, where before you might have got 15 people that messaged you, now you probably get 4 or 3, because they just don't know what the situation's going to be when they get there, so they're a little afraid to go out and do it.
Yeah, exactly.
That, and you can't please everyone with the COVID mask, because there's some places we go and I'm like, shit, I'm the only one with a freaking mask right now, and I'm doing it like for the sake of the 90-year-old lady with cancer, you know what I mean, to make sure we're all feeling okay. And then other places, like the one place we went and sold art, she was like, "Why do you have your mask on?" And I'm like, "Because I'm trying to sell art to all kinds of people."
Right.
And she gave me heck, but it's like, you don't know if you're supposed to wear it or
you're not. I guess
not wear
it depends
Right,
where
yeah.
you are.
Yeah, I just usually
Your
wear
personal
it. Call it good.
preferences. Yeah, we wear ours most of the time too, but like we got some pushback up where we live for it, just for wearing a mask. But hey, even if you had the flu, I'm not sure I want that from you either.
Yeah.
We do kind of.
Other
the masks
countries
are handy
is,
for mixing glaze too.
Yeah.
yeah, there you go.
And when it's really cold out, back to the weather.
Nice.
Good job, babe.
Calling it
They're
back.
good for that.
Bring it in. Back
Anything
to the weather.
else to the weather?
Back to that weather.
We don't really make small talk about the weather very often.
Yeah, let's take this opportunity to make some small weather talk.
Yeah, small weather talk. If you're just
Are you
tuning
guys
in,
are you guys fans of rain then?
I am a big fan of rain.
Yeah.
I like
Are
what
you?
it does for
Right.
the world and myself, but I prefer, like I said, the sun. I get cold really quick, and I would hike my dogs like 5 times a week in good weather, and when it's cold, I'm a wimp just because I get the white hands. I have Raynaud's syndrome and stuff. So yes, we need that rain. Gosh darn it, but I don't want to hang out in
Yeah,
it.
I'm not gonna go dancing in it.
Sometimes.
Sometimes. All right, let's push past the midway point here, guys. Cheers.
Don't forget,
All right, so let's discuss a little bit about Fury art.
I've been
got
doing
this.
art since I was a kid. Yes, I gave him a print.
Look at that. Maybe I might take it out of here.
It's
You
got
want
the
the
I was gonna
papers.
say.
Yeah, they're just little prints, and they're old prints. The originals sold with that one. But so
Yeah, there we go.
Ooh, nice. All right.
so I knew I was an artist since I was young. I mean, we're all artists when we're kids, and we're artists when we're adults. Just some people forget. But like I said, my mom's a jeweler and a engraver, and my dad's a carpenter. So when I was growing up in Pennsylvania, one of the things that they could agree on is I was good at art. So like I learned to get attention for that kind of thing at a really young age. And I remember like in kindergarten, I made this Easter thing with gold paper for the carrot and did this thing, and both my parents were there and pleased. So I think that's why I got hooked on it at the beginning,
Right.
not sure. But then we moved to Arizona when I was in first grade, and then they got divorced when I was in second, so I got to go back and forth a lot between Arizona and Pennsylvania. And like just I picked up on the details of the similarities and the differences, like the unique differences and all that traveling, like it's a lot to express. But when I moved out to Arizona, it was a school in, what's that place? Sunny Slope. We were there staying with my grandparents while my dad got a good job so that we can move out here from Pennsylvania. And I went to school in Sunny Slope, and it was like fall, which is still summer in the desert. And I was homesick and 6 years old and like little chubby Dutch kid, and went out under the pavilion in these metal picnic tables. So basically you're toasting children, you know, in the desert with the sun coming down and the tables were hot. So I was out there with the art class, and the art teacher gave me 2 balls of red clay, and just remembering how hot it was and how out of place I felt. And when I touched the clay and made stuff, like how it brought me in. So I knew since then, and just have been doing art. I went to school to be an art teacher at Kutztown, and I went to 8 different colleges while I followed the dead in between, but I got really good
Wow.
grades. And I didn't sell weed when I followed the dead. I sold oatmeal cookies and hair wreaths and pottery and artwork and falafels. So, but I just learned that whole, you know, how to get yourself around with something you're creating, and just learning how to stick yourself out there. So I went and I learned about art in high school. I learned about art in college. And then I had this really good teacher that got me hooked on Native American religion, and then he left and went and wrote a book with the Indians or the natives, and so I went off on a tangent for a year. But so I've been doing art the whole time and selling it. I lived in Jim Thorpe, Pennsylvania, and sold a lot of pottery there. and that was the big thing. We had Coyote Studios where I developed a therapeutic after-school clay program called Mud Puppies. So the parents would pay me and I would bring the pottery wheel in, and it was a 6-week program, so they'd have 4 art projects, a glaze day, and an art show. And I lived off of that and supported my entire family off of that for years. So now I'm finally just doing my art, and it's amazing, like just being so grateful for being able to focus instead of grabbing onto so many things.
Yeah,
you know?
for sure.
But I do pottery, I do stoneware. Raku is a special thing. I learned Raku pottery, which is the Japanese tea bowls are made from that.
Okay. So, yeah, what's a raccoon?
It's a different process where the glazes, one of the glazes have copper, but a normal kiln, an electric kiln, your pottery goes in there for like 8 hours at least. And yeah, you can put it in the sink and, you know, bake in the oven with your things, and it's a very food safe type of thing. But traditionally in Japan they have miriaki, which just means things that are broken are better. And that's when they, like if a pot breaks, they fill it with gold and bring it back together, and they want to appreciate it for all its flaws and differences. Raku kind of has a similar thing, but it's what the Zen Buddhists use for tea bowls. And the pottery only goes in the kiln with their special glazes for only an hour and goes up to 1800 degrees. It's a propane kiln. And then I pull it out with tongs while it's glowing and put it in bins with reduction material like sawdust, and tumbleweed goes really fast, and newspaper, and the smoke reacts with the coppers and the glaze, and you get these crazy colors. And then you've seen white crackle, white with black cracks. That's how you get that, is Raku. And so it's a specialty thing for tea bowls for like Zen Buddhist retreats and everything. So I learned that from a Vietnam vet, and I would bring him, he lived in Ashford, Pennsylvania, and I'd bring him propane in the winter and water in the summer, and he taught me how to do raku. So I'm really lucky I know how to do that, because it's you'll find raku artists, but it's a smaller group, and you don't see it as much because there's a lot of cracking. I'm good at it. And then I just do acrylics and shadow boxes. The shadow boxes are like a built frame. My dad helps me, and Rick helps me with those sometimes. And it's an acrylic painting, and then a layer of epoxy, like epoxy resin that's clear, and then I put stuff in it, organic material, so they get layers, so they have depth.
Sorry.
So I just do that kind of stuff. And today, after this, I'm dropping off art at the Alwyn House.
That's what you're saying.
And their big thing, I guess it's a really good fundraiser from them every year. It's like one of the things they do, and it's their exotic art show. So I know they have penis gingerbread cookies already made for their big event, but they have an event the weekend of Valentine's Day on Saturday. They have a comedy show that's risque, and it goes with the exotic art show, and then our openings on Sunday then. But it's supposed to be all kinds of different stuff, and they have $1,000 cash prizes and stuff like that. And I'm just really grateful, because we've been kind of stuck up there and just regrouping and organizing everything. And I saw it on Facebook, and I just said, I think I missed the day. I was like one day past the deadline, and she's like, oh, we have just enough room, come down. So
nice.
Today was not in vain. We're definitely looking for more gigs in this area too, for music and art.
Nice.
More people, more gigs available. That's just how it works, I think.
Yeah, before the whole COVID ran through, there's live music everywhere.
Everywhere.
A bunch of buddies that are engraved in it.
Yeah, that's up our way too. There was almost every day of the week except for Monday. Most places have like full week full of music. And now they don't have any. That's the longest running exotic art show in America, I think.
That's the longest one.
Did you got coming up this Sunday?
The one that I'm dropping off, it's actually the 13th, February 13th to March 13th, I think, and it's exotic, and it's for the Alwyn House. So it's on Roosevelt and 12th, I believe, something like that. So
it should be a good show though, with lots of diverse erotic art.
Nice.
Well, when I taught, I used to have to keep that stuff like under wraps, and I've made some really crazy paintings, like just inappropriate material, but I was also a teacher, so I had to like keep that separate. So now sometimes I'll be like, so I did a WAP parody, and like I made this drawing of two droids having sex, kind of like coming into my own with that.
R2D2 and C3PO together in love, huh?
Nice. Finally happened.
It was
I
huge
sold that to
too.
the bouncer.
Wanted it to
It's
happen.
like the size of that wall.
It's called C3PO face.
You're not to send me that.
I sold it to the bouncer at the birdcage, and like I was painting windows for a company full of very religious people.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, thanks, man, Danny Fisher, look at this fucking painting. And they were like, oh, so I lost my job there. But I actually, I got more money for the painting than I did there.
Yeah, you would have told him that. I'm gonna lose my job
I used
over
to
this.
try harder to be appropriate.
Yeah.
Now you're just yourself.
Exactly.
Which is
There you
fine.
go. Man, I gotta see that. That's
No problem. I also have 2 alien cowboys humping a sheep from both ends.
perfect.
Monkey fucking a football
Monkey fucking.
on 5 different canvases from smaller to big, so that
The
when you put them all
evolution thing?
together, they all have slightly different faces. It's great. It's good
People
stuff.
pay me for crazy stuff.
People request that
Sometimes
stuff.
I turn it down. Sometimes I'm like, oh yeah.
Sometimes
Yeah.
a little too weird. Huh.
What?
What's the new thing now? Furry portraits.
Oh yeah, I saw an artist on a page doing that. That's what she does now, and she's making good money. And I'm like, good for you.
Just doing what?
Furry portraits.
Oh, okay.
But I never even looked. Like I had never even looked. I don't even know
So you basically
what's
just
there.
painting the costume, whatever's there. So I guess if they were
You just
gopher,
make-
you paint a gopher.
Hey, just paint a gopher and
Yeah,
call it
there you
good.
go.
When I did my legal name change to Fury, I had to explain to my dad it was Danny Lynn Fury and not Furry.
Furry.
And then I was like, what's a furry? And now I'm like, holy shit. Because I wear like wolf stuff because I have wolf
Right.
dogs and it's my thing. So I have like this fake fur wolf hat with a mitten.
Not a furry though.
And then I was like, oh, I probably shouldn't wear that. I'm like, people might think it's a...
You just can't get a huge head.
Yeah, you can't
Then
get a
you're
huge
good.
head.
As
to put
long
it
as you
on.
keep the head normal, you're good to go. All right, semifinals here.
The dinger. I'll get
Cheers.
it on that one.
All right. So let's do one more random here. Have you ever bought something quite expensive but only worn it once or twice?
You want to go first?
No.
I bought a lot of stuff during quarantine off of the Facebook ads for beautiful looking clothing that looks just so like unique and precious. And then it comes to your house and it's like a fucking smock with strings hanging off it. And I'm not one to like super duper shop even when I'm like, you know how there's different ebbs and flows of your money. I still rather go to Goodwill or just particularly pick one piece and pay a good amount for it, like something that my friend sewed, that kind of thing.
Okay.
But I saw all that stuff and I had extra money at that point and I'm like, I'm going to buy these pretty dresses, and I was just so disappointed. They were all just horrible. And
Like some Wish stuff.
if you get on the website and you're like, hey, this is not what I ordered, they're like, oh, we need this and that. I'm like, here it is. And they're like, oh, how about you just keep it, eh? Because it'll cost more to send it back. And then I'm like, no, I want my money back. They're like, how about $5 and a gift card? And I'm like, no.
Oh, I'll pay shipping. Just give me my money back. It's the principle.
I don't think I ever have. I've bought a few expensive guitars and only played them once or twice, but then resold them, so I don't know if that counts. But I don't think I've ever bought anything expensive and not worn it. If I bought something to wear, then I probably would wear it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. For me, it would be clothes-wise,
A
but
fairly limited amount of stuff I want in my closet, I guess, for space saving.
yeah.
But go ahead.
well, you know,
That was it.
Is that? Yeah. Yeah. I'm the same way. If I buy it, then it's to wear or not to. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna buy it if I'm
I
not.
just
gonna
put it in
use
my closet.
Except
Although
for-
I do have some friends that have stuff in their closet with tags on it that has never been worn.
Why?
And when they wear
How?
it,
Why?
I don't know. But I do have one friend that a lot of the time when she wears something, it'll have the tag on it, and you have to tell her that the tag's on it.
Oh, really?
And she'll say, no, that's so I can resell it or take it back or whatever if I don't like it after today.
There you go.
Lucas sells things on eBay and stuff. He'll go to the Goodwill on the 50% off day and find some like brand name and then turn around and sell it for money on eBay.
Yeah,
I guess
That's the
that-
opposite of that question, though, I
Oh.
think.
Back
He's
to the
doing it
question,
right.
Dan.
Yeah.
Yeah, bring us back. No, I had a buddy that did that same exact thing all through high school. He made good money. And we were like, what the hell? You don't even have a job.
You used to be able to
He's
do
like,
it.
yeah, I just go out to Goodwill's, thrift shops, find the polo
Yeah.
shirts, buy
A
them for
good
50
pair
cents.
of old Levi's is worth $250.
Yeah.
You know? Especially if you wore them out.
Yeah.
I don't know. An old thrift store Levi's pair could be worth, if it's from the 80s, could be worth like $250.
Yeah.
And you could buy it for $11.99 or something at Goodwill that day.
What was that show? American Pickers. Did you ever see that show?
Yeah, I've seen it a couple
Love
times.
that show. Man.
That's a lot of shit that
That's the
people
way to-
can find in a lot of barns across America, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, but a lot of that's probably staged.
Oh, I
Put
think
this old
yeah.
car in here for you to find.
Totally.
But
You know,
that would be a fun way to live, huh?
You have a bag of dust and you throw it with the fans blowing to make everything look nice and dusty.
Like MTV Cribs.
Yeah,
that
there you
came out.
go.
Those were all fake houses that they just.
Or the
gave
guy
them.
that had this might have been too fancy, so they took it to his neighbor's house, and stuck it in his garage and stuff.
Roll it in dirt and make it rustic.
Yeah.
Oh, it's worth more.
Yeah, it is worth it. Never clean an old knife, too. They're worth more with their patinas on them. Significantly more.
Really?
Yeah, some of that stuff's weird when you find the nuances of sales. I do a lot of
Pipes
sales.
too. You said the Gershon pipes
The-
or something. If you have smoked tobacco, you're not supposed to.
Merstham pipes, they turn yellow and everybody wants to clean them, and people go to
Right.
extremes and put them in their dishwasher and stuff. And they're like, I think I ruined it. It's like, well, yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, doesn't go in your dishwasher. But a lot of people throw away Merstham pipes when they're yellow, but if you can actually get the full pipe to turn like Turkish amber, then you can sell it. Somebody will buy it off you because you've already put the labor and stuff into making it, patina a certain way. Usually where your hand sits is where it goes yellow first, but there's a lot of stuff like that you might buy and not get rid of. And so as opposed to just wearing it once or twice.
Well, that's what I was thinking, not just clothes or anything for me, because it's I bought a virtual reality headset. Because I tried it. Yeah, I tried it here at the office, fell in love with it, bought it, and then now it just sits there.
Yeah.
Man.
Not
Shouldn't
enough
have bought that.
It's too much stuff in reality for virtual reality to take over.
Exactly. I was like, shit, shouldn't have bought that, but
I don't know.
Whatever.
I would say sometimes there's art supplies that are bought and not used for a very long time, but then they
Not for a
get
very long
used
time.
right away.
They sit there and then they get used later when the time is right.
Yeah. A lot of acquiring things for the right moment. We have a fairly active lifestyle, and we acquire a lot of things from either other people or stuff that we source out ourselves, and people say, what the hell do you have that for? Well, we always end up using it for something,
You got the space to store stuff like that then?
No.
No? Just make it happen.
It's a train wreck.
That's a train wreck.
We have an acre, and I have a good well.
Okay.
And I bought a house that was wrecked by tweakers, so it was super cheap, and my
It's the same
mortgage
price,
is
yeah.
smaller than people's apartment.
Yeah, definitely.
Nice.
So I have a nice house in that sense, and it's a modular, so we keep repairing it. It's just everything's cosmetic that's ugly, but then shed space is a thing because our living room, it's a 1,200 square foot house with 2 bedrooms, and our living room is one day a clay room, so I have 4 tables in there, and I got mud everywhere, and then the next day it's a music room for practice.
Okay,
The next day I'm
nice.
painting, so we have our studio outside that's half done, but it's getting to the point where I'm just chomping to get in there.
Yeah,
just
it's
more
nice to have
organization goes smoother.
Different areas for
Nice.
different things. We had some outbuildings, but we had to tear them down. So now we're just using an old camper full of stuff, and we're working on that.
Okay.
Back to buying things, even though it's not clothing, I wanted to know what you guys thought about this. There is a guy, I don't know his name, but he, the art world is a strange place.
Can be.
And he is selling his skin, and he already sold it for tons of money that he can enjoy now while he's alive. But he sits in a museum, in a gallery all day, and he has beautiful tattoos that someone did that are just amazing. His whole back's covered in tattoos, and he already sold his body to a dealer. So when he dies, they're going to dry his skin and put it in a case, big
Right.
beautiful butterfly or whatever, what have you. And that's the deal. And he already got paid, and he's just he's young. He's going to have
That's
a
what I
bunch
was
of years to
gonna
enjoy his
say.
money.
But do they take him? Do they kill him before his skin gets bad?
No, he
No.
just sits in the gallery
No, he
now.
sits in the gallery.
It's not going to be as beautiful when he's
Yeah, but
No.
old.
but
It's
it's
not.
probably it's authentic.
He probably has to follow a strict routine.
Maybe.
You've got to put this lotion on every
every
day.
Put the lotion.
You got to put they lower it in a basket down to him.
They're,
Because if they're going to give you enough money to survive your life, you just got to be something.
that's quite a bit.
You
It's
got to
quite a
drink
bit of money.
2 gallons of water every day.
Hydrate.
You got to do the lotion in the basket. You got to do everything. I want that skin shining when I take it.
Right.
That's true, though. Well, I think it's fine because in 1901, Roald Dahl wrote a book called Skin, and everybody's in a gallery, and they kick this old man who's homeless out of the gallery, but everybody's there trying to pay millions of dollars for this paintings. that are on the wall. And when he takes his shirt off, he taught the artist how to tattoo. So he has the best.
Painting on the...
He has the best painting of them all on his back tattooed. And they, you know, are saying, you know, call the cops, get this guy out of here. And he, you know, pull his shirt off, and then they want to offer him, you know, 50,000 rubles or whatever right that second. And they're like, don't do that. You could live at like this hotel, and we'll just pay you to walk around shirtless in the sun, you know.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, that's pretty good too, but I don't know if I want to sell my back. And they're like, but you're homeless. And then what she said too, we saw the modern rendition of that with this guy that got paid $600,000 to just sit in the gallery all day for. And then when I guess he's dead, they're gonna skin him and treat him and put him in a museum.
Yeah. I don't see any.
I don't have
problem with
any
it.
problem with it.
I would like to know the route, like if he has
Maybe
to follow
he does
some
have to
routines
like
or,
at like
Yeah.
68 before it's really downhill.
like they measure your wrinkles when
saying
you
that
reach a
people at
certain
68.
point.
He seemed pretty wrinkly already. It's one of the British or Russian guys that's just kind of wrinkly already, you know. So maybe is that working in
Yeah,
his
maybe
favor?
like they know the signs. Like, yeah, your skin's already stretched.
Yeah,
You're good.
you're good
You're
to
not
go.
going anywhere.
And it is beautiful tattoo, but I don't know. I think it's more of a statement than anything else.
Right.
Because I don't know if I go that crazy over it. There's people in Japan that are covered like
Head to
completely
toe,
head
yeah.
to toe, and they're not standing in the gallery.
With like implants.
yeah,
and stuff
all
like
kinds
that.
of stuff.
Well, maybe it was just like a personal
I
tattoo to the guy.
think he read the Rodolph's Skin. I really do.
Rodolph's
It was
Skin.
one of our thing in school that we had to read for our introduction to college writing and stuff, and it just seemed as soon as we saw that, it was like, oh, yeah, that guy read that book and decided to do that.
Right there.
Cheers,
All right.
guys.
That's already an hour?
That's already an hour. Yeah, it goes by quick.
50 minutes.
All right. Thank you so much for tuning in to ETM. I'm here with the Peaceful Outlaws. We got one more 10-minute segment here, then we're going to play some songs.
Nice.
So let's talk about, you guys are getting ready to record your first EP, right?
The first EP with Peaceful Outlaws and the Clay County Ramblers.
And I'm sorry, what was it?
Clay County Ramblers.
Clay County
That's when we add
Ramblers.
Darren.
That's when we add
John.
the other auxiliary band members.
Nice. So were you guys looking to do that? Up north, or you guys somewhere down here?
We're actually going to come down here. Darren had someone in mind. There are a few places up by we are, but and it's nothing against the places up there, but there's only a few, and everybody from our area sounds the same.
Makes it, yeah. That's
And I just,
every artist,
you know,
every engineer has a kind of their own unique sound.
Yeah,
that's.
yeah.
I have no complaints about their style. It's just I don't want them all to sound the same.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, we want to sound like ourselves, not like everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
So I know that Darren has that lined up, but it's supposed to be a 5-song EP.
Okay.
And we've already practiced recording. We did something with like 28 takes or 38 takes. We did Broken Ranger like that at his house before.
50 takes.
50 takes, okay.
Well, you guys trying to record like the full band together?
We got the full
live
band
one
in
time?
each part, so each fills on its own like
Okay.
separate channel.
Right.
That way you can cut. I was actually working on it yesterday. That way you can cut and make it sound this big sound, and it's really just 3 of us in
Right, yeah.
our room, you know, with a microphone like
Yeah.
that. So
But
Oh,
we're-
you guys doing it remotely then? Like he's coming in and no, that was for your
that's just
test.
for
Yeah.
test
us.
takes, yeah.
I call them scratch sheets.
Yeah, okay.
So it'll give us something to play to while we like do it.
All
And
laid
it's
out on
like a
time
good
and
enough,
everything.
a good enough quality, but we don't want to submit it to radio stations when we do that sort of stuff yet.
Right, yeah.
But I think for us restarting our brand, it was good to have just some content that was on SoundCloud or whatever for people to, you want to have us play at your wedding,
Yeah.
that sort of thing.
That's one thing. Like you're going to school for it and learning it, and he's learning about sound. But sometimes it really sound. I care about it so much, but I don't know how to get it to function in my favor.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm still I kind of just leave it up to them. But if I have an opinion, I stick it in there.
Right.
And then we added the harmonica mic, so I play with the harmonica mic now. So that was like a different thing. But that's something that's always on my mind. Just our samples. Like if you turn on the Facebook page, there's like 2-hour videos, but like half hour of it was really tight. Like how can I take the perfect part from that?
And very few people will watch a 2-hour-long
Yeah.
video.
Yeah, those are
Yeah.
mainly for our super fans.
Right.
So we're just trying to learn how to do it all so that we're accenting the right thing.
Yeah.
But the songs on there, Hey Bartender, is what he wrote with his grandpa. It's a great song. It's a great song, and he's had that one since Pennsylvania. I don't know how old you were when
I
that
don't
one.
know, 19 or something.
And Summer Lovin' you wrote this year. And then
That one was stuck in the house for a while when I was listening to your guys' stuff.
Really?
My girlfriend and I were. No
Nice.
better than
That's the algorithm I work for.
Yeah,
Get it stuck in your head.
It was right there instantly. She's humming it while she's cleaning the dishes. I'm like, oh, well, there you go.
Nice.
And I know we'll do Broken Ranger and what's the Spanish one someday afternoon, and then we have Smoke. But I just did a new one last week, and what is Alabaster Rose? And that's like the Irishy one.
It's like an Irish pirate song.
It's not polished yet, though.
No,
but
it's
I can
brand
send
new.
that to you, too.
You guys finding that the songs are rolling out pretty easily? Now that you get
Yeah.
that time to sit back and make it happen?
I think collaboration time has expanded due to COVID.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we don't all have. Darren would have separate gigs than we would have, and I would have a separate gig than maybe Peaceful Outlaws would have, you know, some of the time. So I think we just all have more time to spend together, which is weird because we've actually been practicing less, but when we get together, it's like there's no other thing that needs to be done then, so we're
It's more
actually just
productive.
playing, you know. Yeah, I think we all just spend a little bit more time sitting around like we are right now, and that's just kind of what the COVID quarantine stuff has done to everybody.
I write songs in the pump house.
Yeah, in our pump house.
So.
Yeah, so what's your writing technique? Just random? Anything? Anywhere? Anytime?
Pull over or use the phone to record at least like the beat while you're driving, because if you don't, the whole song's gone forever and then you're screwed and you're like, I was a genius.
Yeah.
And the pump house, so the pump house is where our well pump is, and we store pottery stuff in there, and that's where we have our safety meetings in the morning, and like we smoke cigarettes if it's too cold because we don't smoke in our house, so
Right.
like you can go in the pump house, there's a heater in there.
There you go.
And it's just a gross little room with dirt floor and everything, but I go in there sometimes with it.
I like it in there. It's our area. I've always had a den in every place I lived in, so I've either had a basement or a garage. You hear
Right.
that out here in Arizona? Basements. Those are so wonderful. A finished basement is
Those are
truly
rare.
awesome.
We would love one of those, that'd be great.
I miss them so much. I mean, you got the square footage of your house underground and finished. It's pretty awesome. But so our pump house right now is the closest spot I have to like an area that you can smoke in, and you know
Just
have your
kinda
safety meetings like she
zone out,
said, and
yeah.
you know an area that if you get ash on the floor, it
Oh, I just
doesn't-
got the safety meeting.
Yeah,
That's where we do our safety meetings.
I
And my
mean-
son's 16, Ben, and he lives with us, and so that's our like little gross adult room.
that's our little
And I store my pottery in there.
It's a multifunctional room. It has a lot of purposes too. It's a good room. We like it in there, as dark and dismal as it is with this dirt floor, and it's old
So
wood.
that's where the creative juices really start flowing.
Yeah, we're gonna have to write a song about the pump house, I think.
Yeah, you got the title
Nice.
right there.
Talk about weathered
The
wood and
pump
dirt
house.
floors, huh?
You could talk about weather,
Weathered
buying
wood.
clothes, and
Yeah,
not
there you
wearing
go.
them.
Not wearing
You
them.
make a whole song out of this.
I'm gonna buy
random
this, but I'll
questions.
never wear this. Back to that question though for 1 second, I will say that people give me a lot of like jackets and stuff that I would never wear, but you feel bad not taking it sometimes if it's, let's say, somebody's
yeah.
parents or something. And I'm just like, well, thanks. And you're really grateful for it, but at the same time, it's like, oh, I'm never going to wear that.
Yeah.
You know? So I do some stuff like that, but I didn't, they
Yeah.
weren't expensive,
And you didn't buy them.
and I didn't buy them.
On that note, being grateful for all the friends that gave me multi-sized jeans throughout COVID because of being home and not exercising
Right,
as
yeah.
much. So I had the full spectrum.
I think we probably eat more too because we're not running from one gig to the other in the same day and stuff like that.
Yeah, you have a moment to actually sit
Yeah.
down.
We do when there's stacked gigs like that. You do a lot of eating whatever your vendors have around you or whatever like the green room has. And a lot of the time the green rooms do not have. No offense to anybody, but they do not have the healthiest choices. You can have like Doritos, Fritos, or potato chips or something, and you're like, man, I've just been playing for 4 hours and haven't eaten anything.
It could be like a chicken salad wrap
Yeah,
or something.
And they're like, well, there's Chips Ahoy back there in little containers. It's like, oh, thanks.
So I'll peek for 5
That'll
minutes. and
get
then
me to the
crash.
next place. But yeah, on the EP coming up, it'll probably be out in June if everything goes right.
Oh wow, that's a pretty
We
fast
had-
turnaround.
I think it should be. It's only 5 songs, and
How long are you setting time in the studio for? Just like
Darren's handling
a
all
day or
that.
2 days. Thing?
probably a day or two.
Yeah, that'd be
we'll,
pretty.
We'll
hectic,
practice at.
but it'll be fun.
We'll practice at his studio first and have him like that's why basically we were making our own tracks of the tracks so that I know what the different parts are, and say like there's some of the tracks just run, and you know the whole track might be 3 harmonics that have to be at those specific parts in the song or whatever. So I think some of that stuff, me and Darren and Danny have worked out our parts kind of to the point where we've done it enough at home that we can just say, all right, this is what your extra track is, and you know, on this one, or like there was on her song Broken Ranger, me and Darren have 4 different fill tracks that need to be like, you gotta cut all the breathing out of them and stuff, and so I think we're pretty good on that. But yeah, studio. It's fun to be in the studio, but I guess you try and have it all ready before you go.
Oh, you got it, especially because you like bands will go into the studio, like big bands, for 6 months.
Yeah,
nobody has that luxury.
No,
you gotta have that luxury. You gotta have it tied up and ready to go.
That's why we started working on a home studio, because for certain stuff like this new Alabaster Rose, I was able to record the backing guitar and then noodle over it so that I could find like where my keys were and what the I guess what the notes were to match when she says Alabaster Rose and stuff like that.
Yeah, so, even just having an interface into your laptop so you can just record.
It's helpful to be able to sit there. And then sometimes we'll listen to something and go, that just sounds wacky. You know, we got to do it this way or whatever. And
then the rest of the week he's doing his classes online where he had to do Twinkle Twinkle Little Star.
12 weeks of Twinkle Twinkle Little Star.
Berkeley, baby.
Oh, yeah. How many times can you sing Twinkle Twinkle Little Star? And how many ways?
As many times as I can sing Broken Ranger.
I just had a little girl, so I sing it all the time.
Oh.
There you go.
All right, that's our time here.
Cool.
On ETM, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you, Peaceful Outlaws, for being here. Richard and Danny.
Thanks for having us.
Make sure you subscribe, like, and as always, let us create.
Take care.
All right, we'll take a quick break here. Thank you so much for tuning in to ETM, ladies and gentlemen, Peaceful Outlaws.
Hello, everybody.
Hey there.
This first song is a song I wrote. It's called Summer Loving. I think about what it's about is probably evident in the song. 1, 2, 3, 4. Summer loving is better than a winter hugging, all wrapped up in shades of gray, drenched in moonlight or bathed in sunlight. Desert love is here to stay. Play me one, girl. Darling, sometimes I feel like we're doing fine. Everything's just going great. Times I feel like we're in the foreign line, and there's no place to escape. Summer loving gray, drenched in moonlight, or bathed in sunlight. Desert love is here to stay. You know, darling, there's no place that I'd rather be than on your farm, in your arms, just keeping company. Just a scene of something to my heart makes my spirit wanna sing. Summer loving is better than winter hugging, all wrapped up in shades of gray, drenched in moonlight, bathed in sunlight. Desert love is here to stay. Summer loving is better than winter hugging, all wrapped up in shades of gray, of gray, of gray, of gray, drenched in moonlight, bathed in sunlight. Desert love is here to stay. Way out here in Arizona. Summer lovin'. Thank you. This next song's called Smoke.
This is a smoke medley, so our original's in the middle, and then there's a little bit before and a little bit after.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do that.
So it's like an Oreo cookie.
My song is the
With-
Oreo
yeah.
between covers. Yes.
Ready?
Yes.
Smoke don't roll
ain't nothing but liquor too high to pay. Gotta get on, gotta get on, gotta get on, gotta keep moving, moving on. Gotta get on, gotta get on, gotta get on, gotta keep moving, moving on. Lies don't take you with them. Just gotta give them up. Give them up and move on. Lied and I cried and I pleaded. Preaching I prayed and I needed to know that you had to go. Gotta get on, gotta get on, gotta get on, gotta keep moving, moving on. Gotta get up, gotta get up, gotta get up, gotta keep moving, moving on. I ain't happy, I'm feeling glad I got sunshine in a bag. I'm useless, but not for long. The future is coming on. I ain't happy, I'm feeling glad I got sunshine in a bag. I'm useless, but not for long. The future is coming on, it's coming on, it's coming on, it's coming on.
Finally, someone let me out of my cage. Time for me is nothing cause I'm counting away. No, you shouldn't be there. No, you shouldn't be there. No, I'm under each stand. I'm good at repair. Intangible. Bet you didn't think so I commend you to. Panoramic view. Look, I'm all manageable. Pick and choose it and lose all your chicks and dudes. Chicks and dudes who you think is really ticking to. Picture you getting down with a picture too mystical, maybe spiritual. Who's the one that listen to you, baby? Now when you're too crazy. Life is, that's the definition of what life is. Life is, that's the definition of what life is.
Happy, I'm feeling glad I got sunshine in a bag. I'm useless, but not for long. The future is coming on. I ain't happy, I'm feeling glad I got sunshine in a bag. I'm useless, but not for long. The future is coming on, it's coming on, it's coming on.
One, two, three, four. bullet. All you other kids with the pumped up kicks better run, outrun my gun. All you other kids with the pumped up kicks better run, faster than my bullet. Kids with the pumped up kicks better run, outrun my gun. All you other kids with the pumped up kicks better run, faster than my bullet. All you other kids with the pumped up kicks better run, outrun my gun. All you other kids with the pumped up kicks better run, faster than my bullet.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks,
It's been a while
guys.
for that
That
one.
was a nice mix.
Yeah, it's been a while. Thank you.
I could pick and work in that too.
Usually there's a song that goes before that, but I guess we didn't do that one.
I forgot it.
Yeah, I know.
My lips are getting pasty from the wine too.
Well, thanks again for having us today on Every 10 Minutes. We're happy to come down here and get creative with y'all.
Yeah, we'll have to do this again.
It's a nice situation. You guys got a nice little studio room. Comfortable and devoid of sounds from the outside world.
You want to do Dimension or Mountain View or Bartender?
We'll do Bartender.
This is the oldest song we played together.
This is a song that me and my grandfather wrote before he passed away. It's about a husband and a wife that are married, but they don't agree on anything, but they both like to drink, so that's something that they can agree upon. This is a true story. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Well, hey, bartender, I let him know my name. Well, hey, bartender, now she left only pain. When late last night I got to thinking, and I reminded her how things are supposed to be. And I know if I quit drinking, my baby will come back to me. When I fill my glass up to the brim, I wanna get shit-faced again. Closing time comes just like a sin. And if them cops come to the door, I don't wanna go back there no more. 10 whole years, you know they've done me in. baby, well, it come back to me. When I fill my glass up to the brim, I wanna get shit-faced again. Roads and time comes just like a sin. And if them cops come to the door, I don't wanna go back there no more. 2 more years, you know they've done me in. Glass up to the brim, I wanna get shit-faced again. Closing time it comes just like a sin. And if them cops come to the door, I don't wanna go back there no more. 2 more years, you know they've done me in. When I fill my glass up to the brim, I wanna get shit-faced again. Closing time it comes just like a sin. If I fall upon the floor, pick me up, I wanna drink some more. 2 more years, you know they've done me in.
Sorry about my sloppy ending. What's next? This is called Someday Afternoon.
It's a lot different.
But
with
when
just
Darren does
one
it
guitar.
with him and we have 2 guitarists, it gets really cool. Tired to dream. I disengage my doppelganger. She's really not as dangerous as she seems. At 1 a.m. I stop the clock and open up the spaces. To disintegrate my eyes from everybody's faces. At 3 I bend the dark apart and wait for Mother Sun. By 6 I am the wolf again, and it's time to run. And I can't wait for a Sunday afternoon. Wait for you to get in tune. I'm a 6-gun shot runner running out of time. You're on my dime. You're on my dime. And anticipated afterlife could have made me sell my soul for 30 cents. Investing all my energy into being self-sufficient when you left. Between the hours of sun and moon, I hated every minute. Between the time of dark and light, I wasn't even in it. The sun was set and the enemy's back. You wouldn't take the lead. It's all 'cause you're not what I need. And I can't wait for a Sunday afternoon. And I can't wait for you to get in tune. I'm a six-gun shot runner running out of time. You're on my dime. You're on my dime. And I can't wait for the plans to be made. Yeah, I can't stand in this river and wait. I'm a six-gun shot runner running out the door 'cause I want more. Oh, so much more. And I can't wait for a Sunday afternoon. And I can't wait for you to get in tune. I'm a six-gun shot runner running out of time. You're on my dime. You're on my dime. Sit on that one.
Thank you.
We want to try anything?
They're so different without the band.
I know. It's funky.
Still not good.
You want to do
Thank
Mountain
you.
View?
Mountain View, yeah.
Sure. We'll mix it up.
Is that the one or two more? Are we all good on time?
Yeah, whatever you guys want. If you want to do two more, go for two more. I say it into the mic like you got headphones on.
We can hear. We've been to town before. This is a song that I wrote for my grandparents too. My other grandparents, they moved away to Virginia, and I've only seen them once since they moved, so I've never really seen them since. So this is a song about them moving away. And a lot of stuff in my life changed then too. Like everybody in my family kind of dropped dad, and it was just it was a weird time in life. So make something positive out of it all, right?
Well, take me back a time or ten, turn on back, baby. Take me to a place where I could live and have no fear. I used to love that mountain view. Well, take me to a place where I can live and call my own. Place where I can live all day and learn and laugh and grow. I want to know that mountain view.
practice that one.
No, that's the old one.
Cool. Thank you. You want to do one more?
Sure, whatever you want to do. You want to do your broken reed?
Had a plentiful field of Frito and Diego, the brush on the table, the pain in the wine. Traded my something to feel like nothing. Send in the locksmith, please turn back the time. Walk away, broken ranger. You're searching for danger. Raise a rebel. Your hands both tied. I gave you nothing. You might deserve something, but I'm angry and drunken. Lost a decade of time. I'm complicated, you're compromising, striving for say while you blindly complain. You're just a twisted root bound, hate shaming in this town. Turned all my bricks down with cornerstone paint. Walk away, broken ranger. You're searching for danger. Brazen rebel. Your hands both tied. I gave you nothing. You might deserve something, but I'm angry and drunk. Yeah, lost a decade of time. The mountains, they move me so the devil could lose me. Manifest destiny, here I am now. Vigilantes blow fuses while the lawman amuses, while we master the blues and tear the whole world down. When you want more than others, I'm scared for you, brother. I hope the Lord rocks you and mends all your woes. But decades of knowledge and 10 years of college can tell me you're fibbing just like a thorn in the rose. Walk away, broken ranger. You're searching for danger. Brazen rebel. Your hands both tied. I gave you nothing. You might deserve something, but I'm angry and drunken. Lost a decade of time. You're searching for danger. Brazen rebel. Your hands something, but I'm angry and drunk, yeah. Lost a decade of time.
Broken Ranger.
Yeah.
None of the licks. So in our main band, Darren Mahoney plays the second acoustic guitar or electric guitar depending on the song, and me and him trade back and forth. So neither one of us do the rhythm the whole song. I'll take a lead and then he'll take a lead and stuff. So when we deconstruct those songs and take them back to like their core concepts, they're a lot different.
Right.
And this is one of those songs too. Normally there's a lot of like
Twiddling.
a lot of good stuff like that, but now it's just gonna be just the basic. What's it called?
Alabaster Rose.
That's how new it is, like 2 days old.
Perfect. Love it. EP exclusives.
I've never been a pretty girl, I ain't been all my life. I can't spend my confidence or be a faithful wife with pink Corvettes and cigarettes as they turn up their nose. Here I stand, cigar in hand, the alabaster rose. 1, 2, 3. My mother thought it would be fun to cut off all my hair. I'd pride myself and brush it down, at least what was still there. My father had a decent job and helped me on a prayer. Because of him I wear my crown, sparkling in the air. 1, 2, 3. Alabaster rose, alabaster rose, her cheeks so red and rosy, her heart nobody knows. Lovers come without a gun, waiting to explode. She sees them fall beyond the wall, she's an alabaster rose. 1, 2, 3. The sheriff, he did take my gun, I felt it wasn't right. As the sun came down, I snagged my crown, asking for a fight. I came alone and he ran home with his tail between his toes. Despite my sins, I tend to win, I'm an alabaster rose. 1, 2, 3. My brother thought to take me in, reminded of my curse. Despite the gold, the house was sold and things got even worse. I made a man too many friends and some too even foes. But even when I act a 10, I'm an alabaster rose. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alabaster rose, alabaster rose, her cheeks so red and rosy, her heart nobody knows. Lovers come without a gun, waiting to explode. She sees them fall beyond the wall, she's an alabaster rose. 1, 2, 3. The preacher, he did take me in, convinced I would take heed. I took his eyes in times of desperate need. Now blind and sold before the Lord and thankful for his nose. Yet he still prays all his days face for the alabaster rose. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alabaster rose, alabaster rose. Her cheeks so red and rosy, her heart nobody knows. Lovers come without a gun, waiting to explode. She sees them fall beyond the walls. She's an alabaster rose. She sees them fall beyond the walls. She's an alabaster rose. First time. There you go.
That was the
Thank
first
you.
time all the way through, I think, actually.